Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to pop the hood on YouTube's massive recommendation engine and look at a huge fundamental shift in how your content actually gets discovered. For the longest time, we've all just thought about discovery in terms of things like keywords, tags, and watch time, right? Well, a pretty quiet revolution has been happening behind the scenes, driven by Google's adaptation of the Gemini language model. Today, we're breaking down a computer science breakthrough that literally changes the game for every single creator out there. Think about it. For 20 years, your video was essentially just a random license plate to the algorithm. You know that gibberish string of letters and numbers at the end of a standard YouTube link? That's a random hash. Historically, the system had absolutely no idea what was inside the car until people started driving it. It relied entirely on massive amounts of past user data to figure out if your video was worth sharing. But now, Google is replacing those random, meaningless hashes with a highly meaningful DNA sequence called a semantic ID. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, creating your video's DNA, and moving beyond the random hash. So what really happens the second you upload a file? Well, it doesn't just sit there waiting for a viewer anymore. It goes right into a massive AI assembly line. The system automatically pulls your transcript, the audio frequencies, and even specific frames from the video. It's analyzing the visual objects, the words you're speaking, and how you've structured the whole thing. Then, using a quantization model, a sort of translator called RQ-VAE, it takes all of that rich multidimensional stuff and compresses it into an organized YouTube language. It turns your entire video into one concise, semantic token. And this new framework from Google's research brilliantly illustrates exactly what that means for us. Notice how your actual video content and your standard creator metadata, the title, description, and tags you type in, are now two totally separate streams feeding into the AI. Your traditional metadata is now really just a complementary input. It's working side by side with a highly compact AI-derived representation of the actual substance of your video. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that a semantic ID is not just a tag you can type into a box. As defined in a major research paper by Sang and his team, it's an atomic unit of a completely new language. It captures the deep underlying meaning and the exact hierarchy of concepts in your content, and it does this before a single person has ever clicked play. The AI knows what your video is about simply by watching the file itself. And the scale of this? It's honestly mind-blowing. YouTube has to organize over 20 billion videos. Just wrap your head around that for a second. 20 billion. And millions more are added every single day. While a standard language model updates its vocabulary fairly slowly, this YouTube language is changing constantly. Google actually had to adapt Gemini to reason across this massive, incredibly fresh corpus every single day, turning 20 billion random files into an organized library of actual meaning. Let's move right into Section 2, the power of specificity, and how this new hierarchy automatically parks your content. Semantic IDs aren't just flat lists of tags. They're built a lot more like a family tree. The very first part of your new ID puts you in a broad root neighborhood, let's say sports. The next piece narrows you down to the branch, which might be volleyball. And the final parts act as the leaf, identifying your specific match or tutorial. Because these videos end up sharing those prefix tokens, your video is automatically parked right next to super relevant content in the AI's brain, even if you literally never type the word sports anywhere in your description. Which brings us to Section 3, the cold start advantage, winning without a massive watch history. Honestly, this is probably the best news intermediate creators have had in years. Historically, if you were a smaller channel, you suffered from the dreaded cold start problem. The old algorithm needed a ton of views, clicks, and watch time just to understand if your video was any good or who to show it to. But with semantic discovery, because these IDs are generated from the content itself, the system understands your value and your exact topic the second you upload. It doesn't have to wait around for user data anymore. Devansh Tandon, a researcher who helped adapt Gemini for YouTube, put it perfectly. He explained that the AI is clustering these topics entirely on its own through unsupervised learning. They didn't even have to explicitly teach it the difference between sports and movies. It just figured it out. And the best part? Because of this deep semantic understanding, the discoverability for brand new videos uploaded in just the last day or week gets significantly better. Let's make this a bit more concrete. Take a hypothetical small channel from the Semantic Future Creator Handbook called Home Iron Kitchen, sitting at under 10,000 subscribers. Under the old system, they just wouldn't have the engagement history to get pushed out. But under this new system, they suddenly start reaching totally new viewers. Why? Because their clear visual steps and accurate spoken narration perfectly formed a specific semantic ID. Let's say a guide on fixing a sticky cast iron pan. The AI could confidently recommend it based purely on the content, rather than their channel size. But, of course, there is a catch. Welcome to Section 4, the Metadata Alignment Warning. Tricking the algorithm is officially out, and alignment is in. We are totally shifting away from the old era of traditional keyword optimization into a new era of semantic discovery. Traditional SEO was all about keyword density and desperately optimizing for clicks. But semantic discovery? It's all about true meaning, content understanding, and semantic alignment. The AI isn't just scanning for exact match phrases anymore. It's evaluating your video the way a careful human reader would, looking for actual substance. And this is exactly where the misalignment trap gets you. If your title and thumbnail make a massive promise, like revealing some secret tech, but your actual transcript and semantic ID clearly show it's just a basic tutorial, you've got a massive problem. The system spots this contradiction instantly. It checks your metadata against its own understanding of the video file, and if they don't match, it loses confidence in your video. The result? You miss out on those recommendations. So to make sure you feed the model exactly what it needs, transcripts and chapter segments are absolutely crucial. Transcripts are basically your semantic foundation. They're the most direct bridge for Gemini to process what's happening. And chapters, they're just as vital. Breaking your video into clear, nameable segments helps the AI map specific parts of your video to specific concepts. If what you say actually matches the text you type, the AI can confidently build a highly accurate semantic ID for you. All right, our final section, Section 5, Mastering Semantic Discovery and putting this DNA to work for your channel. Moving forward, you need to be auditing your content for true alignment, not just blind optimization. Ask yourself this: if someone only read your title and chapter list without watching a single second of the video, would they get the exact same impression as the AI generating your semantic ID? You should literally be scoring your topic clarity and semantic consistency from 1 to 10. Make sure you aren't overselling the title and underselling the actual content. They need to be partners telling the exact same story. Now, to help you master this massive shift, download the Semantic Future Creator Handbook over at semanticfuture.test. You can grab our exclusive 10-point alignment audit checklist there, which will walk you through exactly how to sync your metadata with the AI's content understanding. But until you check that out, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. If the recommendation algorithm can now truly watch and listen to your video, what story is your content actually telling it? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.